Marston's Domain.
Hey everyone, Marston here, and today I want to talk about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because they have apparently taken out fire hopping. This came out recently because GameXplain did a video on if fire hopping was still in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it is not. And I wanted to make this video, and I already know that a lot of people are probably going to disagree with my opinion on this, but this is something that I feel I need to say, and for those that disagree with me, that's fine. Obviously, you can let me know how you feel in the comment section below, but I'm just going to get right into it. I think that it is absolutely ridiculous that they took out fire hopping, and I'm going to explain why I think this. If fire hopping was some sort of exploit that was not meant to be in the game, they could have patched it out. Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe even a month, maybe 2 months after the game came out on Wii U. They did not do that. They kept fire hopping in the game from when it was released until forever, because the Wii U one still has it, but the Switch one doesn't have it. Why in the world would they remove something from essentially the same game that's just supposed to have everything in it and be the definitive version, and just remove something that added a little bit of spice to the competitiveness of the game? Now, I already know that there's going to be people watching this that have gotten up to this point and they're thinking, well, I'm glad that it's not there, because it was annoying when I would go online and someone would be way ahead and they'd be fire hopping and blah, blah. The game is so chaotic that fire hopping did not guarantee that you would be in first place. There are tons of items, there are tons of random things that can happen. There is no guarantee of getting first when you're online. That's the first thing. The game is just chaotic. So for people complaining about that, there'd be someone online that was just totally kicking their ass, I think it's a ridiculous claim, because it's very rare that someone even is able to stay in first because of the blue shell. So then after me saying that, you're probably thinking, well, then why are you mad that it's being taken out? I'm mad because it gave an edge. It gave an edge to those who put a little bit of extra time into the game, especially for time trials. Time trials to me are essentially useless. You memorize the track, you're good. I don't even understand how there's going to be a challenge now. Before, with fire hopping, yeah, you still had to memorize the track, but fire hopping wasn't something that was just completely simple. It wasn't too hard, in my opinion, but to get all the precise timings in different spots of the course, it took a lot of time if you wanted to really get an amazing time in time trials. But that's the point. We're talking about time trials. The whole point of time trials is to compete in a leaderboard. Then you go online, fire hopping is not going to guarantee you first. So that's why I'm not understanding why people are saying, oh, well, yeah, this is good. We got rid of those people using an exploit, blah, blah, blah. Are you kidding me? I don't get how people are saying it like that. Going online, you fire hopping did not guarantee you winning first place, period. It just gave a little bit of an edge towards competition. Because, yeah, maybe you got a little bit further ahead at some points because of fire hopping, but again, the items would totally negate that sometimes. But it was amazing for time trials. Now time trials to me are essentially useless. Just memorize the tracks, know where to drift, there you go. I can almost guarantee that the time trials on the Switch version will be slower than the ones on the Wii U, and that to me is just asinine. This is supposed to just be a port of the game, not removing something that's in the game. I could understand if it was game breaking, but it wasn't. And people are happy about it as if it was game breaking. It wasn't game breaking at all. Not even remotely close. It gave you a little bit of a boost. It made it a little bit extra competitive. They just took it out. And the reason why this makes me so mad is that people are saying it like it's like this joyous time that they got rid of fire hopping. So now if you ask me, bikes are probably better than karts at this point, because now that fire hopping's gone, because bikes weren't able to fire hop. So that already sucks, because I enjoyed using a kart, because, the game is actually called Mario Kart, so that's great that now I pretty much should just use a bike in Mario Kart, but, that's whatever. But the main point of this, if I ever get over the fact that I'm probably going to have to use a bike in the game now, which I'll never do. I would rather lose than use a bike, to be honest. The game's called Mario Kart. That's not really the biggest deal about all this, but it still really bothers me. The main thing that I want to get across, and the bigger issue that I see with all of this, is that I'm sick and tired of games trying to hold your hand. When I was growing up, I grew up on Super Nintendo. I played Donkey Kong Country. It was the first game I ever played. And you know what happened? I would die a lot. I would die and die and die. But you know what? Eventually, I beat the game. And at no point did the game go, we noticed that you died 5 times. Do you want this invincibility? So that way you can't die or fall in pits? You just fly over the pits? That didn't happen. But now, fast forward many years, and a game comes out, there's something in it that gives you a little bit of an edge that other people are complaining that they can't do, which I find ridiculous because what I did when I was growing up was I learned how to do it. I understand that Donkey Kong Country didn't go online, so there was no possibility of a patch back then, but there was no mindset of, well, hopefully they just make this easier. I'll just wait till they do that. Why bother learning this? There's no point. I'll just wait till they do it for me. That's ridiculous. Why even get a game then? If you're not willing to learn everything that the game has to offer, then why are you even playing in a competitive form of any sort? It doesn't make any sense. And like I said, the people that are trying to argue about playing this casually, you still could. If you played online and you did not fire hop, you could still win. The items are what balance the game in terms of playing online, or even locally. The items are completely random. You could be in first the entire race and then lose. Fire hopping did not allow you to just get a guaranteed win. It was just another thing to spice things up, and now it's gone. It's just completely taken out. So with that, I want to give some examples of other games that this could happen to where people would be outraged. So let's take Smash Bros. Say we get the Switch port, and they go, well, perfect shielding was good, but there was a lot of people that couldn't do it. So we're just going to remove it because we want it to be completely fair. Those that didn't want to take the time to learn it, we need to just remove it. Oh, and also teching? Yeah, we're going to get rid of that too. So if you get hit and you smash the side of the stage, you don't have a chance to live now. You'll just bounce right off and die. No teching. Because some people didn't want to take the time to learn it, and they complained and complained, so we'll just get rid of it. The main point here is that I don't want my handheld when I play games. If I'm not willing to learn something, that's my decision. That shouldn't give me the right to just start complaining until they remove it because I didn't want to learn it. That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard of. But that's the way things are now. You don't have to work at it. Nah, just complain about it. And they'll just get rid of it. So sorry for the ones that have been playing that for the past 2 or 3 years, fire hopping and getting really good, because this is just a big FU to all of us that played that way. Because God forbid there's some form of competition in a video game. I mean, it's bad enough there's already videos showing how you can use the auto acceleration and that not fall off the stage feature, and the vehicle will basically just drive itself. It's just ridiculous. I don't know. I probably went on way too long. Whatever. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this whole mindset of just complain about it and we'll just get rid of it. It makes no sense to me. If it was game breaking, I would agree. There's just a huge difference between game breaking and skill. Fire hopping took some skill. It was not impossible. You could learn it, but people chose not to, and they chose to complain. So now they just took it out. And again, I understand. I'm going to get a lot of people that disagree with me, but I felt that this needed to be said. Because I am just sick and tired of playing games now where they essentially hold your hand. Last example being the new Mario games. If you die a certain amount of times, it literally gives you this special Tanuki suit that makes you invincible, and I'm pretty sure you can even fly or hover as long as you want. Not positive on that. I never used it because I wanted to actually beat the game myself without essentially cheating. If you ask me, that's cheating, but whatever. People can play the games the way they want. I just wish that Nintendo would go back to their roots where they did not just hold your hand through everything. Zelda actually is the first game in a long time I felt that it did not hold your hand, and it was amazing. So I hope more games come out like that. I hope that they don't just keep removing stuff that adds some sort of competitive edge to games, because I like that competitive edge. And again, if you're not a fan of that competitiveness, the items allowed it to be played however you wanted. Fire hopping was not going to guarantee you a win when you had a blue shell coming at you. So that's all I have to say for this. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about all this, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone.